Hello and welcome to the BMC Quick Course Series. My name is Warren Hawkins, and I'm a software consultant for the BMC DB2 products. In this demo, I'll show you how to use SQL Performance for DB2 to create the best index for a particular workload. I'll demonstrate the Recommindex tool. When you get a license for SQL Performance for DB2, you can use Aptune, SQL Explorer, and Performance Advisors. We will be using one of the Performance Advisors, so choose option A from the main menu. On the Performance Advisor menu, choose option 2 for the Workload Index Advisor. Choose option 2 for Recommend Index and specify the high-level qualifier for the workload where you will be looking at index. This is typically the location of the workload that was extracted and executed via option 1, Extract and Recommend Index. As you can see here, we have several workloads listed. We have a choice between selecting or viewing the workloads. We choose V to view the DIA1 workload from the catalog. The viewing of this workload ensures that we are processing the correct SQL statements and schemas. Here we see the current object's name is orders. The SQL is located in the DB2 catalog. The DB2 subsystem is DIA1, where the explain was executed at the listed timestamp. We have 3 data sets involved. One which holds the SQL text, one which holds the access path information, and one to hold the object information. We can proceed now that we have located the right workload. In order to do this, we simply need to type an S next to that workload. We also choose to use Dynamic Explain by selecting XD for our explain type. Enter a description for the workload in the remarks field so you can easily refer to the recommendations later. This is always a good idea unless you have a photostatic memory. This is simply the JCL produced to execute the Recommindex program, which is PSSSWLC2. This program gathers all of the metrics used by the Recommindex compare and analysis reports. Please be sure that you are referencing the correct repository. Note line 15. After the job has completed, we can look at the recommendations. Select option 3 to generate the reports that provide the recommendations. Again, make sure that you are pointing to the correct high-level qualifier. Enter S to select the workload. The Workload Index Advisor recommends that we create 3 indexes and keep index CRORDDX1. The BMC indexes are proposed indexes. The savings column typically shows the savings in Tamaron. Costs can be listed in 3 different ways. 1, Tamarons. Number 2, weighted costs. This is simply the cost of the SQL statements multiplied by the number of executions. And finally, a summarization of plan/program costs. Let's select the CR orders table to get more information. Here, you can see the number of fetches, updates, sorts, and more of the selected table. This information is always useful for application architects and designers. Now, let's select the recommended new index, BMC 0008, to see more details on the projected savings. If the workload data came from Aptune, then the statement execution counts are factored into the statement costs and potential savings. Here, we can see the key columns needed to create the new optimized structure. Now, let's take a look at the SQL used by CRIN2PK. We simply enter an S. The SQL used by CRIN2PK is shown. Now our architects and designers will be able to analyze this SQL against the suggested index changes. Here we can see that we can repeat this process for each of the objects used by this workload. Thus, at the completion of this exercise, we will give our users a thoroughly optimized SQL workload. Thank you for your time. For more information on SQL performance for DB2 or any BMC mainframe product, please visit the URL shown here.